Hello everyone, welcome to my basement because I have something to show you. And no, it's not the mess over here. You get a drum roll. We just got 10 subscribers and we got a plaque sent. How about that? You can tell it's official. So we'll put it right there. Before we get the video started, I just want to let you know how the first thing I attempted to replace to fix this problem where it'll die after like 10 minutes and then stall flat on its face and not want to start afterwards. The first thing I replaced was actually both solenoids, the fuel and air cutoff solenoids on the carburetor. I did have a little bit of footage on there, but the phone died like 20 minutes in and I was struggling, and I'm like, well, maybe for another future video when we have another Acty show how to do that. Now we're going to jump into the ICM replacement. Alright, so we finally got the ICM. You get this at your local AutoZone, JA126. It is this, you can see it, this box right down in there, right on the distributor. Hopefully that is the issue why the Acty won't stay running longer than about 10-15 minutes. Okay, so I've made the executive decision just to take the entire distributor out. So first thing we're gonna do, well, what I've already done, is take out these 3 spark plug wires. There's this, I believe, vacuum hose. There's another vacuum hose here. I'm probably gonna take the coil wire off from here, and then right behind it, there's the wire that goes to the coil. Let's see if you can see it. Right behind here, I think that's it. No, right there, you can see it, is the plug for it. So we're gonna unplug that, then everything should be loose. And there's gonna be 2 12mm bolts that you'll be able to see from the bottom. And then we'll get back once we're close. Okay, so we got both bolts out. I do expect some oil to come out, so that's why we got an oil drain underneath it. And we're gonna be as careful as we can not to rotate this to try and keep everything in time. What is this? So, of course, the phone died on me. We got it out. As you can see, here it is. That mark is still present on there, and on this side too. Let's take it out. Alright, now that's out so we get a better angle on it. Wow, nope. Try getting a different one. Wow. You know, surprisingly, everything has been pretty tight on this. So try and grab it with the vice grip. The light needs a new battery. Alright, fresh battery in the light. I think about how I'm going to take that screw out, you can, let's see, you can see it. Let's get some better light in here. You can see how the O-rings are basically, clean up a little bit, just flat. With this little aluminum, I guess you could call it spacer or seal. I don't know exactly what you would call it, but it's pretty much flat, which is probably guaranteed why it was leaking oil. So it wasn't too hard to take out, just carefully prying, trying not to make any scoring or nicks or anything that could relate in potential more leaks. So we're gonna try and get 2 new O-rings on there, and that should take care of the leak. But now back to that. I think I got it. That's all sorts of messed up now. Hopefully you can see that. Let's see. There we go. Just took my big old Nipex pliers, grabbed onto it. Oops. I can't see. Squeeze the living daylights out of it. Twist. Wow, still nothing on the screwdriver. You know what? I'm gonna wait. Alright, so finally got it off after just fighting with it. One thing that's kind of crazy is a lot of other people that I have seen say that these things are sometimes loose. Whoever last put this on must just been an absolute hulk, but will not be reusing that hardware again. But let's just go ahead. So there's this wires you gotta peel back, then the plate, and let's try and pop this off carefully. Ooh. It's on there. Nice and careful. We don't want any of those pins to break inside. Come on. There we go. Ooh. Those don't look too happy. Looks like it might be corrosion. That's not good. Well, I think what we're gonna do, because whenever I look for a new distributor or a used one, they're like $300. But here's the original. Well, possibly and probably replaced already. Let's just kind of look at our new one. It doesn't come with that gasket. How's it look underneath? Well, what I think I'll do, oops, sorry, it's not in the thing. What I think I'll do is reuse the gasket just to try and help out with a little bit of extra waterproofing and security. But looks pretty nasty. We got some of this heat silicone paste that we're gonna be putting on the back of this. And I mean, if that's all corroded and whatnot, then I can see how that has been an issue. We're gonna see if all that'll clean right up too. Got a rag. A little bit of brake clean just to try and nice and carefully clean that up. Okay. Not really, but yeah, it doesn't look too pretty in there, but I do know that I have some terminal cleaners at work. Okay, so cleaned up the face as best as I could with a carbide. Gasket scraper seems to do a good job. Sprayed in here with some electric contact cleaner, and then I just took these little wire brushes. They're for airbrush cleaning, and they seem to work just fine for this. Now we'll put this thing back together. So then I cleaned up this little gasket too. We'll just reuse it because I guess how to say some gasket is better than no gasket. And then need to use the, what's it called? The thermal grease that is provided with the ICM. So this is just to kind of help protect it from heat. Doesn't seem like there's much in there. Oops. Clean that up a bit. Hang on one second. Okay, so I got it all out. Smeared it with my finger. It does kind of get everywhere like anti-seize. But now let's put this on. Carefully. Or should the gasket be in there first? Let's try that. Okay, fix that gasket. Slid it on there. Now next is the cover. And then we're gonna put these, I guess we'll call it ground straps, back into place. Now, the last screw was extremely rough. and it was hard to get a Phillips head on there. So I decided to get these little bolts with a hex head on it. It'll be easier to put on, take off. It's got a lock washer, same thread, same length. I'll put the size on the screen once I have a chance. So unfortunately, I had to reuse the original screws. The screws that I got were the correct size, length, and thread pitch. The only exception was the hex head would come in contact with the cover. So you couldn't like actually tighten it down. Bummer, but we put the one that was mounted up on the top just so that way in case anything happens, it was more accessible. I was able to put on with the screwdriver, so it's not on terribly, but it is better. So on to the next piece. This collar. Here are the original O-rings, still flat. Super hard, not really flexible at all. Put some new ones on there. You can see the ridge. We're gonna take some lubricant, some on my finger, Cell Glide, rubbing it all around. Right there. Gotta be very careful not to turn this because it'll mess up the timing. So we're just gonna take a rag and wipe the inside here. Okay. Probably just put a little bit more Cell Glide on the fingers. Just to really kind of help it get on there. And I'll try to put the Honda genuine part number for these O-rings on the screen. And then just like that, we're right in. Now we gotta get ready to put it back in the vehicle. I'm just gonna put the tiniest bit of extra Cell Glide on the O-rings just to help it just a little bit more. Okay. I'm dropping everything. I'll try carefully put it in. It is in. It's tight, it's in. I'm gonna spray it down, try and clean off all the residual oil. Then we're gonna start it. I hope that I did not mess up the timing. I got it in, I don't know if you could tell, but the marks do line up. All right. It's looking pretty good. Clean. Seeing as how I'm already down here, now will be a good time to show you how you turn a 91 Acty into a two-wheel drive instead of all-wheel drive. So we have this little gear here. There's a 4 there and a 2 there. There's a 10 mil right here. First take out the 10 mil. Wow. And then now you take this gear and you turn it. Now the 2 is hard to tell. There's a 2 and it's facing right side up. You just put this bolt back in, and now boom, it's two-wheel drive. Why did Honda design it like that? I don't know. You think a button inside the cab or a lever like everyone else would make more sense, but hey, who am I to judge, I guess. And we're just gonna start that up. Now it's a two-wheel drive. All right, moment of truth. We'll start.